Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to show you the tutorial today on this simple kind of classic Bobbi look with a little bit of a twist. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this weird freeze frame, just so you can see that I'm using Bioderma, which is a micellar water, which is just a very gentle cleanser that you don't have to wash off, and it doesn't leave any residue. Love this one. It's good to start with a clean face. As you can see, we don't realize what is on our face sometimes. This is kind of more like mid-morning, so slap on that moisturizer and let it sink in while you do the rest of the work. So here is Painterly. This is the cream eyeshadow that I always use for every look. It's by MAC. Very affordable, lightweight formula. It's just that perfect neutral color that works for everything. It neutralizes my veins and all that stuff. So then I like to do my eyebrows, and honestly, they're so bad. I used medium brown here. It was my second, I think it was my second color that I tried in this Dipbrow kind of pomade formula. I thought it would be better. I did dark brown. I love that shade, but it's just too dark for me. It just looks stark. So this is usually my technique for filling in, but really they just don't look good. So ignore that. They get better in the next tutorials. So going into the face, I'm using the Makeup Forever HD foundation, which is great, especially if you're ever in flash photography, whether you're out with your significant other or girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. It won't do that weird white cast, and it's nice and creamy, so it blends in really well. I'm using a pretty dense buffer brush here by Morphe. I think it's the M439. It's a really good brush, but I actually prefer ones that are not as dense. So yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents on that. And then I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer to conceal my dark circles as per usual. And then I'm going to put it kind of in little random spots on my face that I feel need that extra coverage. Like my eyebrows looked really muddy. I really didn't like how the Dipbrow turned out. So there you go. And then I'm just using a beauty sponge to pat it all in. Okay, I better stay on top of this, but I'm just setting my under eyes with my all-time favorite powder. That's that. I just love it. And then I'm going to use a new product today for my eyes. Really simple, basic products today, you guys. It's from NudeStix, and it's the, what was it called? Burnished? And I'm just going to use it like a crayon. I love stick formula type, what am I saying? Yeah, anyways, this type of makeup, I like it, whether it's for the eyes or the lips or whatever. It's just so easy to use, and it's very portable friendly no matter what you're doing. So I'm just drawing it everywhere, and I'm going up above past my crease, and then I gently blend it in with my fingertip. Boom, donezo. Super easy. It's just a soft neutral color that I think would look really good on most people, just depending on your skin tone. And then you can add more depth to it and make it darker. So then I am setting my face because I forgot to do that. And I'm using my favorite powder. It's the Nude Illuminating powder. The shade was Nude, and it's just delicious. It sets your makeup, and it does not mattify, but it doesn't add like a bright sheen or anything. It's just adds a little bit of luminosity, and it's very beautiful. I highly recommend it. It never looks powdery or cakey. So here I am using a black eyeliner, and I'm just doing a really basic liner. I go from really thin to the inner corner and then thicker on the outer corner. And then I'm using this, Bobbi Brown, I'm sorry when I fumble over my words, this Bobbi Brown eyeliner brush. Don't recommend using that. You want to use more of a blending brush. Similar size, but it's soft and fluffy, so it actually blends properly. So just use something like that. Just don't use that one. But anyways, for a basic line, I recommend doing thin on the inner part of your eye, and then just go a little thicker as you go out, and that's just how I like to place the pencil so that it's easier to work with. So once I finished doing that eyeliner, placing it in and just smoothing it out, just kind of buffing it a little bit to make it softer, I then went back with that burnish color and then drew it under my eyes and then out to the outer corners to make sure the top and the bottom are connected nicely, and then you just buff it out with your fingertip. Easy peasy, and it sets in place so you don't have to worry about it. Then we're going to go ahead and use a mascara. This is one of my personal favorites, even though as you get to watch my videos, you'll know my eyelashes kind of go up and down with their health because I mess around with them from stress. I'm sorry I say it all the time, but if this is the first time watching, you'll know why they look kind of sad. But other than my eyelashes being sad, this is a great mascara. It's very separating, it's lengthening, and you can blend, or sorry, not blend, you can do lots of layers and it just doesn't get clumpy. So this is, I threw this in here so you could see that sometimes when you're struggling with your eyelashes to lift, that's how I hold them up and then kind of let them dry in place, and I find that it works really well. So going on to the face, back to add, so now we're going to add some color, and this is my all-time favorite bronzer. It's just the perfect shade. It's a cool tone, so you can use it for contouring and just kind of adding a little bit extra shape to your face. But it's not so cool that it looks muddy. I really highly recommend that shade. It's the shade Suntan, if you didn't catch that and were distracted by my talking. So I threw it onto my cheekbones in the hollow of the cheek, so kind of beneath the bone. And then I took a bigger, fluffier brush and then I blended it in and made it softer. So then I'm using the other end of this brush that I love. It's from Bare Minerals, but any angled brush with a natural hair I find works really, really well to apply bronzer if you want to have defined shape instead of like wanting to just dust bronzer everywhere. This is if you want to have the contouring effect. So I'm contouring my nose for fun. That is not a Bobbi Brown thing at all. I'm just throwing that in there because I just felt like trying it out today. So I just placed it where I wanted to, just to kind of make it just a slightly more narrow, a little straighter. And then I buffed it out to make sure that there were no really harsh, obvious lines. And then so I always like to add it under my jawline to define it a little bit more because I basically don't have a jawline. Kind of a pet peeve, but that's okay. So then I just like to balance that color out, and that's where I put it. So moving on, I know this might seem like a lot, but it's really not. It's so quick. This is my favorite Bobbi Brown bronzer for adding more warmth. It's the shade Medium. It has kind of more of a cinnamon undertone, which I find perfection. It won't go orange on you. It's just really pretty. It's more natural and true to the kind of tone that you would get from an actual suntan, or it has more of a brown tone, you know? And so one of the senior pro makeup artists referred to it as a cinnamon shade. And so you're just, I put all of these little clips in here to show you exactly where I put my bronzer in every time if I'm going for the effect of adding warmth everywhere. So cheekbones, nose, chin, especially around the forehead. Add more the bigger forehead, add less the smaller forehead. And you just want to put warmth everywhere. So Bella decided to be my little buddy today and just kind of be all up in my biz. But I'm wrapping things up here by adding, again, one of my all-time favorite products. It is the Buxom lip gloss in the shade White Russian. It's just, it's not clear. Yo girl, move. But it just has a pinky nude tone that I just really adore, and the formula is delicious. It's peppermint and cooling. And I feel like I threw in a lot of my favorites in this very simple tutorial. But this is from Laura Geller, and it's the shade Pink Buttercream. Highly, highly recommend for anyone. It's just kind of like a more of a nude pink. It looks pretty pink there, but I like to throw on a lot of blush sometimes, especially if my eyes are really neutral. I like to have something a little stronger. And so I knew I was going to go in with this new highlighter from Bobbi Brown that's called Opal Glow. Oh, it's just delicious. The name is perfect. It truly is an opal kind of, what's that word? Or that color, yeah, anyways, it's basically a really good opal shade, and I throw it on the tops of my cheekbones, the brow bones, and then I'm going to dust it onto other little funny places like my chin and my nose, and then the inner corners of my eyes, because I feel like if you're going to have fun with a highlighter, try and balance it by placing it a little bit everywhere and maybe one place more. Like I like to add more of it to my cheekbones and then a little bit to a couple other places to make it more balanced. So here's a shot of how pinky pretty it is. It's really soft and subtle. I liked adding a little bit more. I hope you guys like it, and I hope I can see you next time. So hopefully I'll see you on Instagram as well, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.